Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Moser Cie, the art and science of watch collection. Today, what I want to do is I'm talking about three watch brands I refer to as the Trinity of Excellence. H. Moser Company, Moritz Grossmann, and Grönefeld. When we look at the watches, I think you'll come to understand why I consider them a trinity of excellence. They're not like the Holy Trinity, even though most of them, I think, are equal to or surpass what would be in a Holy Trinity. Each brand has a variety of models. I would like to say that they all have sort of a entry-level model, but that wouldn't be true. I mean, some of them start pretty high. Uh, but anyway, so let's get started and take a look. We'll start with H. Moser at Company. I have on my H. Moser Henry double hairspring. Okie doke. The first two, now they have all of these different categories, and then within the categories, they have subcategories and stuff, but I'm going to deal with the bigger categories. The first one is sort of the Pioneer line, and Pioneer line tends to be the introductory level, and it can be about down to 12,900. This would be I think the entry level. The little blue one down there at the bottom is 12,900. But that would be Swiss francs, which is probably around close to 14,000 US dollars. Now, one of the newest ones, the Pioneer Center Second Concept Citrus Green, I put something about this one I just love. It's got a rubber strap, so it's very sort of a sporty kind of thing, wear anywhere and take where you want. The Endeavor line, now the Endeavor line is a more elegant line. I have one of their Endeavors, but it's an older Endeavor. It is a center second, like this one, but this one the movement is called the HMC 200. It's automatic with double hairsprings. This is a double hairspring. The HMC 200 is very much the workhorse of H. Moser. Putting a double hairspring on it, I think they probably do a little more than just put the double hairspring on. The HMC 201 and the HMC 200 have similarities. The 201, they did some skeletonizing in the bridges and so forth in the back, and so you can see the movement better. But with the double hairspring, you get into some little more serious horology there. The price, $25,500, reflects that, whereas the Pioneer with the Concept Citrus Green is $14,500. Now, these are in Swiss francs. What I've done is that I've tried to give the base level, and you can, of course, if you go online and you look for pre-owned, they're all over the map. So that's up to you. Okay, so the Pioneer and the Endeavor they're two of probably the widest, has the widest breadth. The Streamliner and Heritage are two more of their lines. The Streamliner, the one that I had at the front, this Streamliner has an Agengraph chronograph in it, which is, in my estimation, the best chronograph that's made. Now it's in one of this Streamliner line of watches. And they tend to be fairly hefty in price. This one is 49,900 Swiss francs, which is $53,000. The HMC 812 is a manual wound, 168 hours, 3 hertz. Now, one of the things that you're going to find is that these watches, I think they're all under 4 hertz. They're 3 hertz or 2.5 hertz. So they're 21,600 semi-oscillations per hour, or less on all three of these brands. And they've all won Grand Prix awards. That's not every one of them I'm showing, but something from one or the others, one of their models. The Heritage line, you can see the Streamliner line and Heritage line are about as different design sort of schools as you could come to. They're both nice. The dual time Heritage is probably my favorite dual time. There's something I like about it, and it's just neat looking. It is 19,900 Swiss francs. Now they do have an entry level Heritage model at 13,900, which is about $15,000. These are very expensive watches, naturally. The HMC, the other Heritage, the center seconds, is a HMC 200, like I said, the workhorse. So anyway, these are one of the things about H. Moser Company is the perpetual calendar. It's my favorite perpetual calendar for this reason. This one is hand wound. Now, if you wind it up and you're wearing some other watches or forget to wind it, it's going to run out, and so your perpetual calendar, your calendar is going to be off. This one I found to be very easy to reset to the correct time, so you don't have to go through 50 years or something like this. Also, too, if you look at the dial, you can say, wait a minute, where's the calendar? I don't see a calendar on here. Well, there's that little stub of a hand right in the middle. You see the 2 hour and minute hands, and then the second hand, a little stub of a hand, a little red to the bottom of it. That is the calendar. That's the month. And like the 12 hours in a day, or 12 hours and a half a day, or in a rotation of a watch, there are 12 months in a year. So wherever that is, we'll tell you the number of the month. And then down around 4 o'clock, you can see the day, the date. Very ingenious. That's one thing I like about them. And again, these are both 3 hertz, 21,600 semi-oscillations per hour. Now, this next group of watches is by a company called Moritz Grossmann. It's the German company in Glashütte, Germany. I love these watches. I have one. This is my Moritz Grossmann. One thing I will say, this is maybe the only one. I went out and I got a bracelet for it. It's not a Moritz Grossmann bracelet, it's a Ming bracelet, but it's a nice bracelet. I thought, well, hey, this would look nice. I don't think there's a single Moritz Grossmann with a metal bracelet. When I got this, it came with a wonderful a black strap with green stitching. It fit very well. I happen to like this for this watch. So anyway, while it's a Moritz Grossmann, don't be fooled by the bracelet on it. I have 2 watches with bracelets, so not a bracelet guy. Okay, now here are 2 kinds. There's the Benu and the Tefnut are the 2 major categories they have. They are expensive. The amount is posted in euros. That includes 19% VAT that's charged in Germany. And so what I did is that I took out the VAT and converted it to dollars. So where you have 61,500 euros, that includes the German VAT, or the Euro or EU VAT. And then below it says 55,455. What a savings in dollars. These watches, again, they're great. Now, the Hamatic is my favorite. The Hamatic, if down at the bottom, you can see it. It's an automatic, but the way the automatic works is there's this little hammer that goes back and forth. Rather than having a rotor that goes around, uh, you can see it at there's like a little hammer, and it's called the hematic on that. It's called a caliber 106.0. It's automatic, and the automatic is from this hematic instead of a rotor. Just a neat watch. Now, the one next to it is called a Benu Contemporary, and it has a caliber 100.1. Manual wind, 18,000 semi-oscillations per hour, 42-hour reserve. Now, mine has a similar one. Mine, I think, is a 200.1. The movement is very similar. It's 18,000 semi-oscillations per hour. It's hand wound. And the thing about it, one thing you'll see on a lot of Moritz Grossmann's is this little button here. You can see it on the Primavera there. What it does is that when you set it, in order to get it running again, you push this button. That is so you can have. I mean, it's sort of their version of stop second or hacking, if you will. But instead of when you push it in, instead of starting it then, you can set it exactly where you want, and then you can even wait for the whatever you're timing it against to come around and push that button. It's sort of cool. It took me a while to get used to it. Primavera is 45,500 euro, 41,000 without the VAT dollars. Now, the next two, here you have the Tefnet. And the Tefnet watches are a little different. This one, one of the few watches that I could find among Moritz Grossmann beside mine is they're all made of gold or platinum for the most part. I found this Tefnet Classic 38 millimeter in steel. Now, this was 30,000. Still not, I mean, there's no bargain deals here, except for mine. I'll tell you about that in a second. And this was $27,228 or 30,000 Swiss francs. Manual wound, 3 hertz, 21,600 semi-oscillation per hour. Now, the thing about the manual wind watches and the low hertz, they came out, this was called an Atum Pure H, and these were selling for right around 15,000 brand new dollars. And so that was a pretty good deal. Now, I found one brand new, unworn, and it was in, where was it? In, I think, Dubai or someplace like that. And it was for $6,000. And it just has been a delight. I could have never afforded the other ones, but I found a good buy. And it's not one that was, like I said, it's not the most popular brand, but I talked to Christine Hutter, who's their CEO, and she told me they're sold out of everything. So, I mean, the quality, really good quality tells. Also, too, they don't make too many of each of the models. Now, one of the ones that I've liked from the get-go is called the Tefnet Jewelry. And they have some beautiful women's watches. This one is called the Arabian Nights Milanese. The Milanese is the Milanese bracelet on it. And of course, it's got diamonds and so forth. It's really a gorgeous watch, 37 millimeters in rose gold. They have another one. It's called the Tefnet Twist. And they have a bar lug at the top, and you wind it by turning the bar lug. So it's it's a very cool watch. In all three of the brands that we're looking at H. Moser, Moritz Grossmann, you saw one of the cool things with the hammermatic movement. There's something about each of these brands that they come up with something horologically fascinating, but also there's something cool about them. And like the That's why I like them so much, I think. Okay, moving right along, we have the next is Grönefeld. Grönefeld, again, is another one of my favorite, the Grönefeld brothers. Uh, they're in Holland. I was sort of doing a European trip on this one. If you go to the Grönefeld page, they have a big sign that says that we're sold out of everything. We can't even take orders. Like, I was, who could afford these? Not me. These are wonderful watches, though. The 1969 Delta Works. This is pretty much a three-hand watch, 49,800, automatic, 56-hour reserve. Gorgeous watch. It comes with a rubber strap. One of the things about all of these watches, you can configure and say, I don't want a rubber strap. They'll give you any kind of strap you want. Caliber G06. This is automatic, 3 hertz. Now, they have one that is a chronograph called the Grönefeld, caliber G04, manual wind, 3 hertz, 48-hour reserve. Now, what they have that's really neat about this, at 3 o'clock, there's something that's called the governor's speed regulator, and I had no idea what that was, so I started fishing around. I finally found out what it was. Since I'm not a big chronograph fan, one of the things on my one chronograph I do have is you have a reset button, and the second hand will zip back to 0. Well, what the governor's speed regulator does is that it regulates the speed of how fast it can go back, because I guess they found out that it's snapping back can cause other kinds of jarring that they don't want. And so it's just one of the things. That's $155,000, 155,000 euro. I don't know whether that includes the VAT or not, so I didn't put it one way or the other. Okay, now the final watches, these are my 2 favorite Grönefeld. One is the Remontois. I love Remontois. There are very few watch companies that have them. Grönefeld is one, FP Journe's another. There are a couple others too, but this one is one I absolutely love. It's a very simple one. At 9 o'clock, you can see there's a little window that shows you the Remontois, 54,880 Swiss francs. But you can't, I mean, they don't even let you order one because everything is back ordered so much. 1941 Remontois. Wonderful watch. 3 hertz. Now, the final one, this is really wild. It's called 1 hertz. Now, when you look at the G-02, that's the caliber, it'll say 21,600, which is 3 hertz. But what it has, it's got 2 barrels. One barrel is for the going train, and the other barrel is for an independent dead seconds mechanism that runs at 1 hertz, and that's where the name comes from. Anyway, so this is my Trinity of Excellence, and I would very much like to know what you think. And as always, this is an invitation to subscribe if you like. And until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Cie, the art and science of watch collection.